akin in some ways to Mikey McCoy. I look at Mikey McCoy, I don't know Mikey McCoy at all, and I don't think he's an evil person. I think he is in the shadow of his father, right? I think he's in the shadow of his father. I think Don Jr. has been probably in the shadow of his father his entire life, because what he's saying when he begins to credentialize himself and said, oh, I was out with the Wuhan, said this about COVID, blah, blah, that's all true. That's the real Don Trump Jr. He was actually one of the people that was the most vocal about the Jeffrey Epstein files until Dad said, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, right? And that's what I mean when I say someone who is in the shadow of his father. And it's a tough situation to be in. So I do want to be charitable in terms of thinking of that particular dynamic when Dad is saying this needs to be done, and you have to carry on knowing that you had a real relationship with Charlie, because you did have a real relationship with Charlie. But Don, from me to you, it's better to say nothing, okay? It's better to say, I'm just not gonna answer that question. The best way you could honor Charlie Kirk, if you can't fight for him for some reason, is to simply say nothing. Because I looked at this clip and it bothered me for a lot of reasons, Don, because I know who you are. I know who you are. You're a hunter. You love to hunt, Don, right? Every picture of you, you're in the wilderness. Your whole life, you love to be in the wild. In fact, you taught me a lot about the wild and a lot about hunting. And my favorite fishing experience is actually with you, right? Fighting back the sea lions or the seals in British Columbia. You know nature, and I'm not gonna ask you to go back against the nature of honoring your father, but I am going to ask you not to lie. And as a hunter, if you are not lying, and this is truly what you believe, you trust the investigation, I'm gonna need you to make a video saying that you believe that Charlie was shot by a .30-06 in the neck. And that somehow, through the miracle of God, Charlie's neck stopped a .30-06. Not only stopped a .30-06, but was pretty much in good shape, not even destroyed. His neck was not even destroyed by a .30-06. That kind of a miracle, Don. You know hunting, you know guns, and so I'm asking you if this is truly what you believe, to clarify that matter. Make a video, sit down with me, look me in the eye and say, Candace, I really do think that Charlie, our friend, because you are his friend, you were his brother, stopped a .30-06 with his neck, which stayed intact. You won't say that, Don. You won't say that because it's untrue, and I think that spiritually it would mess with you, and the hunters that are listening know that you don't believe that. You know too much, okay? So again, I'm gonna ask you, you cannot say anything. I understand the ties that bind. I understand Jared and Ivanka and their investments in Israel and the pressure that's coming from the Zionists, to simply be quiet. As his other brothers and sisters and people in the movement, people who don't even know Charlie, get to the bottom of this, because everything we're being sold is absolute BS. That's my request to you, Don.